The entertainment industry is rapidly growing as a result of people getting more interested in film and television instead of reading books. As demand for more entertainment increases, more opportunities have started to exist for those who actually want to get involved in the film industry, such as acting, producing, and directing. There are three mainstream forms of acting, which are theater, movies, or television. There's also commercial acting, but that's not as mainstream. Each form of acting has different requirements. Theater actors have to perform in front of a live audience. Movie actors are typically behind a camera for a long period of time, but then after that they're done. And then television actors have to come back every couple of weeks or film for shorter periods of time, but more constantly than if they were filming in a movie. While there isn't a must-follow path for aspiring actors, there is a recommended one. Most people get involved in their theater program in school and then transfer into the college arts degrees. And then after that, they have to network and gain experience by performing locally and in smaller roles before they gain enough connections to hire an agent who can help them network further and gain larger roles. According to Payscale.com, the average actor's salary is $50,047 per year. Depending on the roles and popularity, though, some actors may make more than that, some actors may make less. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Dwayne Johnson made $20 million on Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle in 2017. Location can also influence pay. Actors in New York City or Los Angeles often get paid more than those acting in smaller cities and towns. According to the Bureau for Labor Statistics, the acting field will expand in the future. There's a projected growth of 12% in the next 10 years, which is almost twice as fast as the average job field. It's influenced by the fact that, once again, more people are becoming invested in entertainment rather than reading books. So production crews have larger budgets to hire more actors. Acting is a great career choice because it can bring joy to the people. People connect with the characters that the actors are portraying. And Hebrews 13:16 says, "And do not forget to do good and to share with others, for with such sacrifices God is pleased."
So, what is a film producer? Well, a film producer is someone who oversees the production of a film. Now, it's kind of self-explanatory, but basically they run everything. They get the idea, they start it all. Every film needs a film producer. So these are two famous film producers. That is George Lucas, and the one whom we all know and love, who gave us Star Wars. And this is D.W. Griffith, the very first film producer in the late 1800s.
Freaking heck.
So, what is a film producer? A film producer is someone that oversees the production of a film. And they are they're necessary to every single film that has ever been made. They run it all. They're the ones that start it all. And so every single film will have a producer. And so that is George Lucas right there. He is the producer of Star Wars and Lucasfilms. And so he's really famous for Star Wars as a producer. And this is D.W. Griffith, the very first film producer in the late 1800s. He kind of started it all. So. Career requirements. So you need a bachelor's degree, you need to go to college, you need to know this stuff, and you need a degree in film, acting, journalism, communication, and maybe other fields like business and marketing and stuff is very important because you deal with all of that as a producer. Most producers, you need 1 to 5 years of experience, so they will have internships to be a producer where you literally will follow a producer around as they do a film. Now those are normally small film producers, but you never know, you might be able to get with George Lucas sometime. So the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics in 2015 said the median salary is $65,000 to $70,000 a year, and most producers start small. So George Lucas started really small, but now he is worth $5.5 billion because those small productions led to Star Wars leading to $5.5 billion because people love it. So, but most of them will start small and try to work their way there. So first they'll start, producers will start with the first step, and that is the idea or the script or the book that they read that inspired them to produce a film that they think is good enough. So that goes into the second step, where they have to look at their idea, the script or the book that they found, and they have to be like, will this entertain people? Will this make people happy? Will it make them sad? What emotions will draw out from the audience? And it's all audience focused. And sometimes they'll see, oh, well, I can't show this on TV, or I can't show that in like movie. We don't have the technology, or it's just too gruesome or something like that. So then they will end up going back to step one. So a lot of producers, it will take enough time just for step one and step two, and they will go back to step one because they just can't find anything. But after you develop a idea and you see that it could be a film, you have to raise money for that film. So a lot of small producers will need investors. They will need someone to invest in their film because they don't have the money like George Lucas has for $5.5 billion to put into Star Wars. They will need investors. They will need to just take out loans and stuff just to make that film, and hope that the money that they get out of it after making it is more than what they put into it. And so the next part after that is they have to hire directors and choose the cast. So hiring the director, you have to hire someone that sees your vision, the way you want it to be. You have to help them see your vision the way you just think that, I think this film should go this way. If the director kind of disagrees, they have issues, and you probably won't hire that director. But most of the time, producers will find a good director to help them with their film, and then we'll choose a cast with the director. So they could be like, I think this guy is really good at acting in these types of movies, let's get him. And then they could be like, well, that's a money problem, we can't get him, so then we'll do auditions for the cast. And so the next part is that they'll oversee all production and post-production. So they will be there on set just making sure everything's going the way that they think it is. And the last part is marketing, and they need to figure out, this is where business comes in. You have to market, make sure people know the movie that you're putting out is going to entertain them and that will be popular. And last part is negotiating worldwide rights, and that is this copyrighted? Can we show this? Is it PG-13? Is it PG? Not rated R, not at liberty, but yeah. So that's about producing.
Third in the entertainment industry field of careers that we're going over today is directing. Now the director will go ahead and create the TV shows and the commercials and the movies and things like this, and they'll take care of a lot of the detail work involved with creating the movie. So they will hire the film crew, they will rent the filmmaking equipment, they'll make sure that the costumes and the set and the makeup and the characters all work together coherently to get across to the audience the message which the director or the producer wants the audience to understand. A big part of the director is interpreting the script that the writer puts out. So it takes a lot to go from the black and white words on the page to something that the audience will understand and know and love, and that is in large part the director's job. So as a director, you're going to need to attend college, another college-based degree field, but you need to get your bachelor's degree in film theory or cinematography or something like this, and there are tons of colleges and universities that offer that, including our own Liberty University over at Green Hall will offer that as well. So it's important that as a director you get that hands-on experience and behind the camera experience as well, because there's no on-the-job training for this kind of thing. And typically you don't just go straight to being a director right out of college. You need to get a little bit of experience, whether that's shadowing a director or working a film crew or something, but you do need to get a little bit of experience before you go ahead and try to be a director. So the job outlook for the future of directors and producers is actually quite good, because as we talked about before, people are becoming much more interested in the just let the entertainment wash over them instead of going and seeking entertainment. A study by BBC actually found that people do, of course, enjoy watching movies more than reading books. I think you can get that just from common sense, but there's actually a study to back it up. So the job outlook, they make about 70 grand a year, which is pretty solid. It's not like amazing, but you can live pretty comfortably on that. And then over the next 10 years, the projected job growth rate is 12%, which again is almost double that of the average growth rate in the nation. Now, directing as a career can be a little stressful because it's in a production-based market where what you put out is the money that you make. It can lead to working long hours and in very competitive and cutthroat environments. So you really do need to be persistent and a driven person if you're going to be a successful director. So there's a lot of pressure to produce your work on time. As we said earlier, the higher quality work that you can produce in a faster amount of time, the better your job outlook is going to be. One director said in Filmmaker magazine that communication as a director is where a film lives and dies. It is essential for efficacy, for performance, and ultimately for translating a director's vision into the screen. So, of course, in order to communicate with the actors, the set people, the producers, all this, you need good communication skills in this job field. So overall, acting, producing, and directing are all pretty competitive fields, so they require driven people who are, talented in that field, but they all also have influential and significant roles in society, because if you shape the media, if you shape what people are watching, you shape what people are putting into their brains and what they're eventually most likely going to be thinking about later. So these people do have a bit of a civil responsibility to make sure that they are actually putting into people's brains what is good and edifying and whatnot. So this can be a very fulfilling job field if you have that kind of passion for reaching people and influencing people and what they're thinking. Again, job outlook, all of them bring in enough money to at least live, decently comfortably, and all utilize and need strong communication skills, because there's a lot of interpersonal communication that goes on within the set people and the production people and the copyright people and et cetera, et cetera. And then you also need to be able to communicate through your script, through your acting, through your directing, even through the angles and lights and speeds and sound to the audience what you wish to convey to them. So communication is very necessary within your own career and then also in your product at the end. Thank you very much.